In this lecture, we are talking about the nervous system of Fasciola hepatica. So students, in platyhelminthes, as these animals are flat, they are dorsoventrally flattened, so their nervous system is more towards the lateral sides. So in the coming diagrams, you will see the actual position of the nerves inside the body of the Fasciola hepatica. So first of all, the nervous system in Fasciola hepatica is divided into two subparts. So here, if I have to give you two subparts of the nervous system, these are: number one, it is the central nervous system, or CNS, and the second part is the PNS. So this is the peripheral nervous system, which is going to the periphery to the whole body. So we are starting with the very first part, the CNS. So this is the very first part, the central nervous system. Now this system is composed of, again, two things. So they are present two components in the central nervous system. The very first component is the nerve ring, and the second component of the central nervous system, these are the nerve cords. So these two things, they are composing the central nervous system. Now here we have three pairs of nerve cords. So we have got a nerve ring and three pairs of nerve cords. So we'll be taking these things one by one. First of all, we have the nerve ring. Now this nerve ring is around the esophagus. So this is a very important thing to note, that this ring is on the periphery of the esophagus, and this has got three major ganglia over it. So if we draw one nerve ring, suppose this is the ring and it is having three major ganglia. Out of these three ganglia, two are cerebral and one is a ventral ganglion. So this nerve ring has got, again, two components. The first component is that it has got two cerebral ganglia, and the second component is one lateral, it is one ventral ganglion. So this is a single ganglion. So if we have to draw this particular structure, it can be drawn like this. So it is a single ventral ganglion present over here, and we have got two cerebral ganglia on the lateral sides. So this is the positioning of these ganglia on the nerve ring. Now here I have given colors to them. So two cerebral ganglia, they are reddish in color, whereas the ventral ganglion is blackish in color. Now after this ring, now we are talking about the nerve cords. So these are three pairs, and these three pairs of cords, they are arising from the cerebral ganglia. So they are coming out from the cerebral ganglia. Now how they are coming out is, like, if we make them blue in color, out of these three pairs, two pairs are ventral, now these are the ventral nerve cords which are coming out of the cerebral ganglia. These are two in number, and now we have got two dorsal nerve cords. So these are the two dorsal nerve cords, and again we have got the two lateral nerve cords. So these are the two lateral nerve cords. So these are 6 in number. These are 3 pairs, and they are coming out of the cerebral ganglia. And some nerves, they are also going upwards from these cerebral ganglia, and these are referred to as the anterior nerves. So I have drawn here, these are the anterior nerves. These are green in color, so you can very well see. So these are the nerves coming out of the cerebral ganglia. So overall, if we talk about the central nervous system, it is composed of the nerve ring, the central one, and 3 pairs of the nerve cords which are going towards the posterior side. They are forming the central nervous system. So this is the diagram, the actual diagram of the central nervous system. So those nerves which are going on the anterior side, which were demarcated as green lines, so those were the part of the second system, which is the peripheral nervous system. So now we are starting with the PNS. The peripheral nervous system is also comprising of 2 units. So these are the 2 main components. The very first component is the 3 nerves which are going to the anterior side, and these 3 nerves, they are also arising from the cerebral ganglia. So I will again redraw those particular lines which I have drawn later. So these are the 3 nerves which are actually, these are 3 pairs. So these are 3 pairs of nerves from the cerebral ganglia towards the head part, and actually these nerves are going to the head and the oral sucker. So this is a very important point to note. So you know that at the anterior end in the fasciola hepatica you have a mouth and an anterior sucker, and you have a pharynx also. So to control this particular structure, the anterior part, you have got these 3 pairs of nerves from the cerebral ganglia. Now here I want to mention that cerebral ganglia, they are also considered to be as the brain of fasciola hepatica. So wherever you get this particular name or nomenclature of cerebral refers to the brain. Okay students, so the next part of the PNS is the nerves from the nerve cords. So these are the nerves from the nerve cords. So these are the peripheral nerves which are going towards the lateral sides into the whole body of the fasciola hepatica to control all the body parts or all the systems, you can say. So these can come out from the nerve cords, which are 3 pairs, the blue ones. So some nerves, they are coming just like this. So they are making a transverse kind of interconnections, and these transverse connections, they are in between the lateral nerve cords. So this is very important thing to note. Suppose the first cord here is the lateral, second is the ventral, and third is the dorsal. So these interconnections, they are called as the transverse commissures. So this particular structure is called as the transverse commissure, and this transverse commissure, these are many in number, and these are present in between the lateral, you can say, nerve cords. So these are the transverse commissures. So students, this is actually a diagrammatic form of the nervous system, but when you see the actual diagram of the nervous system of fasciola hepatica from the book, that is based upon this particular diagram. So now I am showing you the diagram from the book. This is the diagram of the nervous system of fasciola hepatica. Now students, you can very well see that first of all we have the central nervous system, and it is comprising of a nerve ring and three pairs of nerve cords. So this is the nerve ring which is present in the very center, and this ring is around the esophagus, and it is having three main ganglia over it. So two are the cerebral ganglia which are on the lateral positions, and one is the ventral ganglion. So this is the position of the ganglia over the nerve ring. And next thing, if we take the nerve cords, so this is the lateral nerve cord, this is the dorsal nerve cord, and this is the ventral nerve cord. So three nerves are on the left side and three are on the right side. So that makes three pairs of the nerve cords, and you can very well see these are the nerves which are coming out of these nerve cords. So this is the part of the peripheral nervous system. These are the nerves from the nerve cords. And the second part of the peripheral nervous system is the three pair of nerves from the cerebral ganglia towards the head. So these nerves, they are going towards the mouth and the sucker. So students, that was the nervous system of fasciola hepatica. So you should be very keen with this particular diagram. So this question is important as per the examination is concerned. Thank you.